Okay, so let's start. Okay, so good morning, everyone. Am I audible? Online? Online students, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay, fine. So, in yesterday's class, we have seen the factory design pattern. Okay, now the most important concept of the Java, that is constructor concept. Okay, whenever you create a class, constructor is going to come into it. Without a class, you cannot write any programs. Okay, so constructor is one of the most important part. And whenever you deal with any kind of concept like encapsulation or inheritance concept, every time the constructor is going to be executed. Whenever you deal with an object, constructor is going to come into picture. So whatever you do, constructor is going to come into picture. There are multiple advantage of using constructor. Okay, so let's start with the concept called constructor. Take down the heading as constructor. Okay, heading to take down as constructor. Okay, below that you write down the definition as it is a special type of setter. It is a special type of setter. Special type of setter, which is used to initialize the. Which is used to initialize the instance variables. Instance variables, comma, has the same name as the class name, has the same name as the class name, has the same name as the class name, but no return type.
Sir, repeat once again.
But no
Sir,
return type.
repeat once again.
Sorry, what?
Sir, repeat once again, please.
Constructor is a special type of setter, has the same, which is used to initialize the instance variable, has the same name as the class name, has the same name as the class name, has the same name as the class name, but no return type, no return type, and get executed automatically, whenever object is created. Okay, comma, and do not participate in inheritance. Okay. Now, if you go to an interview, if some other student is also coming there, I'll tell you, if the interviewer asks him, what is a constructor? He'll tell, it is a special type of setter which will get automatically executed. Or 1 or 2 points he'll add. But no one will, I have ever seen till now in my career, giving this complete definition. Now, that definition, what I have given for the constructor is not only giving the definition of a constructor, I have covered the entire topic of the constructor, leaving just the types of constructor. Particularity, you should be precise. You should give the every detail in a definition so that the interviewer will understand, get a complete picture. Yes, he is aware of the topic. Okay. Now, what are the minute details I have given now? there is a 90% of the chance that he will, his very next question will be on that minute details. And answering on that minute details is very, very, very easy. Particularly, you should see, let the interviewer start the interview, but you should decide what should he ask the next question. Particularly, play with his mind, give the loopholes, give the minute details, give the answer in such a way that you are confident. In somewhere you just drop your confidence and once again you pick up. Now what he'll do now, if he really wants to check you now, his next question will be that, very next question will be where you have dropped your confidence. Like that you should play. Okay, so let's come back to the constructor. So what is that? I have told that constructor is a special type of setter which is used to initialize the instance variable. Now we have seen something called encapsulation concept. Okay, now in that what we did, what is encapsulation? Let's quickly revise. What is encapsulation? The process of binding the data. Yes, correct. Yes, correct. Okay. Okay, fine. Leave that. Okay, yeah, you guys, what you are told is correct. So let me just repeat the definition of encapsulation. It is nothing but the process of binding the data within a class with the help of private keyword. Whenever we declare a variable as a private, data gets binded so that external person from outside a class cannot access the data directly. To provide the indirect access, we will make use of a setter sentence. What is a setter? It is nothing but
to set the value
to whom?
variable.
Which variable?
Standard.
Very good. That is what I wanted. Okay. Now assume that I have a class. Let me class name it and tell it as student. Okay. I have a student class. Now what I'll do here is I'll declare a variable. I'll tell it as something called string name. Okay. String name. Now we created a setter like this. I'll tell it as public void set name. Okay. I'll tell it as string name is equals to, I'll tell this dot name is equals to name. This is what we have seen in our setters. This is how we create a. Now, if you see here properly that this setter is just one normal method. Okay, normal method. What does it do? It collects a value from the user and it will put that value into the instance variable. How instance variable is associated with this keyword? I have given a note that is any variable associated with this keyword, it is known as an instance. Got the clarity? So what does the conclusion of this one? That is, setter is nothing but one method. What it will do? It is used to initialize the instance variable. Yes. Now same point I have given in the constructor also. Constructor is also a setter, but special type of setter. That is what I have given, right? Constructor is a special type of setter. Why is it special? Because it doesn't have the return type. You know, right? Whenever we write a method, return type should be mandatory. Return type is a mandatory, but it is a special type of setter. So what we'll do? We will not write a return type. Okay, boss. So what I'll do? I'll delete this return type. And what is that I told you? It has the same name as the class name. Set name for this variable. Now for the constructor, we should not give the variable name, we should give the class name. Okay. So what I'll do? I'll remove this one. I'll declare the class name as a student. Got the clarity? Yes. Now, what is the special constructor is? It is a special type of setter which is used to initialize the instance variable only. No return type, has the same name as the class name. This is what we call it as a constructor. Apart from that, I have added one more point, that is, it gets automatically executed whenever object is created. When come to the setter, what we did, we first will create an object. Through that object reference, we call set name, set roll number. Like this will tell now, Now here, when you create an object, this will be automatically executed. You need not to call it explicitly. Understanding constructor means, now can you tell, see here, what all points I have done? No return type, same name as a class name, used to initialize the instance variable and get automatically executed. Combine this one, you make your own definition. What I have given, same thing you have to tell, not required. You can change the sentence, but you should cover these points. Okay, can you tell me now?
Initialize instance variable.
Very good.
And it gets automatically executed. It not need to include it, and which has same name as a class.
And no return.
No, it don't have.
No return. Okay, that much. If you tell this much, then you will get a full marks. Now, apart from that, we have started with the inheritance concept. What is the inheritance? The process of bringing the behavior and the properties from parent class to the child class. Now, I have this class called student. Inside that some properties I have declared, assume that some methods also I have declared. Now, when I create a child class for this one, all the variables and methods will come. Now, interview will ask, he will ask that will the constructor will also come? No. Okay, it will not come to the child class. It will always remain in the same class itself. So that extra point I have added. That is, constructor do not participate in inheritance. Got it, clarity? Definition you understood? How to create a definition constructor you understood? And there are two types of constructors basically. Okay, two types. One is the default constructor. One is the parameterized constructor. Okay, what does a default constructor means? A constructor with no parameters. Means you will not pass any parameter. At that time, we call it as a default constructor. A constructor with at least one parameter. Means if it is collecting any one parameter, then we call it as a parameterized constructor. Got the clarity? Now, next question. In a class, how many constructors can be created? Answer is, we can create n number of constructors. At that time, one more question he will ask that, if that is the case, how many objects can be created for a class? N number. Got the clarity? We know the answer that for a class, we can create one object, two objects like this. Okay, that is new student. Okay, new student, like this new student, like this, I can create n number. I told you that say what is that? Whenever object is getting created, constructor will also get executed. Now, based on the parameter, is there any restriction in passing a parameter? No restriction. We can pass 1, 2, 4, 5, 10, 15, 100, any number of parameters we can pass. Now, if I go to the combination of this one, I can create n number of constructors. Got the clarity? Only condition is that exact prototype or signature should not be there in the class. Okay, you cannot create two default constructor. You cannot create a two with the same type of parameters constructor in the class. But you can create n number of constructor inside a same class. Got the clarity? Definition you have written below that you write down as, that is types of constructors. Types of constructors. Okay, types of constructors. Below that you write down, first one you write down as default constructor. Default constructor. Default constructor. Below that you write down a constructor with zero parameters. A constructor with zero parameters is known as default constructor. A constructor with zero parameters is known as default constructor. Example. Okay, write on this. As an example, you write on. Otherwise, let's write a full program. In MCQs, what happens here is usually they'll give like this questions, okay? And whatever concepts they cover in the constructors, they'll give code, they'll give, and they'll expect you the output. Okay, so they most of the people sometimes goes wrong. So understand the concept today very carefully. Let it be any kind of application you are creating, constructors will come into the picture. Okay, very important. Quickly copy this. Done. Now observe the flow, guys. Now what happens here? Please look at here. So initially what will happen? Initially the control will be with my operating system. Yes. Now when I want to execute my Java program, he will give the control to JVM. Now JVM will search a class that contains a main method. Does this class contain a main method? No. It will come to this class that contains a main method and it will hit the main method, activation record will be filled. Now when come to this one, which one will execute, right hand side or left hand side first?
From the
Right hand side. Okay, that is new student. What will happen as soon as an object is getting created? What will happen? A class of the student will be loaded into the class will be loaded into the memory. Once the class is loaded, at that time, what is happening here? Look at here. I told you that constructor will get automatically executed, but actually, if you see programmatically, it is not a true. Okay, can you see here? While creating object new student, I'm giving here open and close braces. This is nothing but, remember I told you in future I'll discuss about this one. This is nothing but the constructor call only. Constructor call only. See here, new student, open and close. Student, open and close. Can you see here? Both are matching. Yes or no? At that time, what will happen? Immediately control from here, it will come here. It will execute the program as hello world. After that, is there anything left? No, it will come back. Now, whatever object has been created, that reference will store here and nothing is there, then it will go back to the JVM. Right? Got the clarity? When you are creating object, at the same time only it is getting executed. Is it clear? Now, what is the output of this program? Hello world. Are you calling any method or anything explicitly here? No, it is getting automatically executed whenever object is getting created. Write down the output below beside that as hello world.
Sir, but we didn't create any constructor before, so how it was executed, sir? Sir, before we didn't create any constructor before, so how did it execute it?
Yes, very good. That is excellent question. Actually, I was about to tell, but your name, who has asked this question, I'm not sure. But give me 5 more minutes time. I'll discuss about that. Okay, 5 more.
Okay, sir.
That is, he is asking that I am telling that whenever we create an object, constructor will execute. Till today, we never wrote a constructor. Object was getting created. What was happening is asking. I need 5 more minutes. I'll discuss on. I will tell you the answer. Okay, you know, very good. Okay, this point is clear. Now, if you see here, what is executing here? See guys, everyone carefully. I created an object, it went to that class constructor, it executed and came. If you think that is what actually happening is wrong. Okay, apart from this one, something else is also getting executed. What is that here? If you ask me, which parent class? Correct only. See, you will stuck the answer. Okay, let me tell the answer. Okay, now look at here, guys. Here, when you create an object, not only this constructor, some other constructor is also getting executed. Which constructor? Do you think any other constructor is visible here? No, not visible. But which constructor is executing means the parent class constructor which you have. Okay, boss, but where is the parent class for the student here? Now remember, in the Java, for all the classes, there will be one parent class called object class. Okay, in the Java, you create any class. For that class, there will be one parent class called object class. Now, here what I have done, I have written any object class. No, there is one inbuilt class called object class. I'll tell here as class object. Okay, inside this one, there will be one default constructor. Okay, like this. Empty implementation will be there, like this. Visible? Now look at here, like this it will be there. Now, since you have not told this student is the child of object, when you run the program, automatically JVM will put one keyword here saying that extends object class. Extends object class like this. Okay, you have not written this one. Automatically JVM will extend this class when you run the program. Okay, sir. Now what is happening here? When you create an object, control will directly come to here. Okay, and before executing this one, it will check is there any parent class mentioned by the user explicitly. Have I mentioned by as a like extends any other class I mentioned? No. At that time, JVM will put extends object class. Okay, object class. And that time what will happen? The object class will become the parent of the student class. At that time, JVM will also do one more work. That is, in the first line of the constructor, it will call a super method. Super method. Okay, what does the super method work is going to do? It is
class.
yes. That is, super method is going to call the parent class constructor. So who is the parent of this student? Object. Then immediately call from here, it will go to the parent class constructor and it will execute. Now tell me, when I run the program, what was the output? Only hello world. Now if I am telling that if the parent class constructor is executing, some other output should also come. Why not coming? Because here this constructor is a empty constructor. There is no implementation. Even though it is coming and executing, is there anything to print? Nothing it is getting printed. So after executing this one, it will come back to the same place. After that, this line is completed, it will come here, it will print hello world, and it will come back to the same place. Okay. So what did you understand from this one? That is, whenever we create a class and inside that if we keep a constructor, and if we have not explicitly extended the constructor with some other, means the class with some other class, at that time what will happen? JVM will automatically extend that class with the object class, and before executing the constructor of the same class, it will go to the parent class, that is object class constructor. It will execute that, it will come back to the same place, and it will execute the class constructor, then it will go back to the same place. Clear? Understood? Online?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Please make these changes in your program. Any doubt, please ask. What? What? Once again.
She is asking that now, suppose that sir, we are defining any value or variable, stands variable. But that time we are not initializing any value inside that. So then it's containing some default values. Like integer content, the zero, boolean content, zero, content.
Not only default constructor. What if you create a what's one is that a parameterized constructor? At that time also. Same thing. When the class is loaded, what will happen? When the class is loaded, there is some procedure which will execute first, which will be loaded first. There is something when I have not taken the static concept. When I take the static concept, I'll tell which will load it first, which will execute first. There is a hierarchy. That is, first what will happen? Static variables will get initialized. Initialize means if you are given the value, it will take. Otherwise, default values. After that, static block will be executed automatically. Okay. After that, constructor will come in. After that, what is that? Not constructor. Before constructor, instance block will execute. Then the constructor will come into picture. Then your static method or instance method is going to come in.
SIBIIB.
Start from that created. Okay, great. Nice. And I'll teach you. When I take the concept of static, I'll teach you that concept. Okay. Clear? This program is clear. Now I'll write on program. Will you tell the output of this one? Yeah. Okay. Okay. Let me take the parent-teacher relationship only. Okay. I'll tell here as class teacher. Okay. And I'll tell it as public teacher system.out.println teacher default. Okay. I'll close this class. I'll tell class student extends teacher. Okay. I'll tell it as public student. Okay. All right. System.out.println. I'll tell it as student default. Okay. I'll close this one. I'll tell it as class main. Okay. Public static void main. Okay. I'll tell it as new student. Yes, which is of type student. What do you think output of this program is?
The student default.
Student
Default.
Okay. Student default, everyone agree with this one? Yes or no? अरे कॉन्फिडेंस ही नहीं है आंसर में, क्या फायदा फिर ऐसा आंसर देने का? हाँ, अंधेरे में तो तीर कोई भी चला सकता है.
Yes, sir.
Yes, student default is
Yes,
answer.
sir.
Okay. Answer is wrong. Student default. That is correct. Now, look at here, guys. Those who have given the answer as student default as an answer, that is the wrong answer. Why? Let's do the tracing of this one. Observe carefully. Okay. Initially, with my OS to JVM, from JVM to class contains some element. Okay. Now, after that, when it comes here, it is executing what? Constructor of the student class. Okay, then immediately control from where? From here to here it will jump. Agree with my pointer? Now what is that I told? Before executing the constructor of that class, it will check is there any parent class for that class. Yes sir. For the student, there is a parent class called teacher class. Sir. Yes or no? Now I told you, right? That is, whenever there is a parent class, it will execute that parent class constructor. So it will come to here, it will make automatically, you will not do this one. JVM will automatically make a super call method in the first line of a constructor only. First line only. Second line it cannot do it. Okay? First line. Means what does the super method it will do? I told it will call the parent class constructor. So immediately again control from here to here it will show. Okay. Now, before executing it, this constructor, JVM will check, does this class contain any parent class? No, explicitly I have not written. But at that time, by default,
Object class.
extend this teacher class by object class. So what will happen? Here it will tell us extends object class. Now JVM will cannot tell extends another object class here. If you have not extended any class, then only it will JVM put the extends object class. If you have extended some other class, JVM will not put the extends object class. Clear? So extends object class. At that time, what will do? I'll tell it as class object, and here it will tell it as public object class constructor, and it will close this. At that time, what will happen? Again, JVM will make a super call method. It will go to its parent class constructor. It will execute this one. That is, I'll tell this one as the first one, this one as the second one, this one as the third. So it will come and execute, and again it will come back to the same place. It will execute what? Teacher default. Again it will come back to the same place. It will execute student default. Again it will come back. Nothing is left. It will go back to this particular place. Got the clarity? So what is the output of this one? This program is teacher default. Okay, and student default. Am I clear? Online understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay, copy. ऋषि समझ आ रहा है? Make it fast, guys. You have Python classes?
गुरुवार से नहीं हो रहा है।
गुरुवार से?
लास्ट क्लास से ही नहीं हो रहा है। इसने आप ऑफिस आए थे ना, फिर चले गए। इसी दिन से नहीं हो रहा है।
क्या चल रहा है?
आपसे पहले हम आगे चल लौट गए थे। हम अक्सर कुछ फोन भी
मुझे बताते ना यार, आप कुछ खुला नहीं, मैं आके वापस गया।
ग्रुप में तो ऑलरेडी डाला हुआ है।
मेरी आदत नहीं है सुबह उठते ही फोन चेक करने की। लोग सबसे पहले उठते ही फोन चेक करते हैं, मैं नहीं चेक करता। कभी कभी बस देखते हैं। क्या हुआ? करा रहे हो? क्या हो गया?
मुस्कुरा रहे सर, आप हमको लग रखा है, छोड़िएगा तो
क्या कोई और आके पढ़ा?
कोई और फिर सर नहीं सर।
आप लोगों को जैसे मैं बोलूँगा
सर
आप तो इसलिए
आप बोल रहे हो, आवाज नहीं आ रहा। आप क्या बोल रहे हो, तो आवाज नहीं आ रहा।
इंपॉर्टेंट नहीं है, ignore करो।
तो दो अगर सबकी तो पता चलना चाहिए, मेरे को नहीं।
किसी को सब पता है। शशि का माना क्या है?
इससे
मतलब क्या है इसका? शशि
शशि का मतलब चंद्रमा है।
चंद्रमा। जैसे सारी जानकारी देते रहता है, हाँ? जैसे चंद्रमा रोशनी देता है छिपके से, okay, one question asked, okay, while you writing, okay, last one question, it was asked in one of the company, okay. See here, there will be something called psychometric rounds. Have you heard about psychometric rounds?
Yes, sir.
Nahin?
Yes, sir.
In technique, you see here, when you go to interview, aptitude round, technical round, there will be something called psychometric round also. Okay, questions will be kind of psycho. Okay, there is no correct answer for that. What are the options? No, everything is correct, but they will check your judgment decision, whether you will able to take a correct decision. If this is the pressure, if pressure is coming. See here, they will give you a question like, if you are a manager, okay, you're newly appointed as a manager, you have a teammate who is working under you. If you give him a task, if he is not doing, he is ignoring you. Okay, at that time, how will you handle the situation? Such kind of question they will ask. Okay, like that only. One of the psychometric question is that they ask you that you know that Earth is in oval in shape. Okay, like this. Okay, now assume that Earth is rotating in this direction. In this direction. Okay, now what is that? Earth will be keep on rotating like this to like this. Agree? Yeah? Now, when plane takes off from point A to point B, Earth is rotating like this. Why do we have to waste the fuel in the plane and travel from here to here? Okay. Instead of that, we can take a plane like this above. Earth will rotate like this, and we can land like this. Yeah, possible, right? Assume that your plane is here, okay, and you want to go to this particular side, okay, from here to here you want to go. Earth is rotating anyhow like this only. So why to waste fuel? We can take off from here and we can stand in the air so that Earth will rotate like this and I can land here now. Yes or no? What will be your answer?
Sir, it's totally depend on the physics theory like that. A train is moving, a person is just tossing the coin. The coin and person both are moving in the same direction as the train direction. So the same concept is working. I think that's, I don't know which concept is getting there. I don't remember. Kinetic.
Apart from that, any other answer? Online, anyone? These kind of questions they will ask. Okay. Don't expect only what is constructor, what is encapsulation, what is object orientation.
धरती मूव कर रहा है लेकिन हम तो यहीं पे खड़े हैं
तो वापस उधर वापस नीचे आ जाएगा तो हो जाएगा ना।
हम तो एक जगह कांस्टेंट कांस्टेंट खड़े हैं ना।
हाँ, कांस्टेंट हवा में हो तुम, जमीन पे नहीं हो, हवा में हो तो धरती तो इधर घूम रही है, घूमने के बाद इधर आ जाओ वापस, हो गया ना। कौन घूम रही है? पृथ्वी तो घूम रही है। See here, you know theory of relativity. See here, okay, let me tell. This is Earth. Okay, board is Earth. If you have come here, okay, now where you are in the space or in the air, let Earth rotate. You are here only, right? Are you also going up? You are here only, right? If this rotates, you go back, then you will go to your destination, right? No. Any other answer? Online, at least one answer you give here. Very boring students I have got.
Sir, there is a air pressure, sir, that cannot.
Huh?
Sir, air pressure, sir, air pressure.
Air
So we
pressure.
can. Yes, sir. So we cannot hold one position long time, sir. And also in plane we can stop there and let the earth rotate because earth's moving is too slow.
Okay. Kind of unique answer. He's saying that due to air pressure, we cannot stand in one place. He's saying that is what your answer, right?
Yes, sir.
No, that is wrong. See, if that is the case, have you seen helicopter? It can stand how much ever time it want. Same thing we can. Okay, let's not go stand like this plane. Let it rotate in the same place in the air. After Earth rotates, let it come back down. Possible or not? Possible. Answer, come on. कहीं भी जाओ लेकिन डायरेक्शन चेंज हो रहा है आप वापस इस पे जाओ एयर में जाओ और 2 दिन के बाद नीचे आओ तब भी उसी प्लेस पे लैंड कर रहे हो ना क्या आपको लगता है कि 2 दिन के बाद आओगे तो धरती उधर थोड़ा इधर हम हट के दूसरी जगह लैंड कर देंगे नहीं ना सेम ही प्लेस कैसे आ रहे हैं
So one more theory, sir. One more theory.
are more related to each other. Both are the same direction. So the same concept you are telling that we are sitting here. Suppose that the airplanes.
Correct.
So then, sir, that when airplane was moving, so at that time, Earth was also moving there. Sir. So the both have the same direction, same magnitude, and the displacement like that. So this was
Yes,
the
correct answer. Go ahead. Yeah, correct.
but I don't know the name of this theory actually.
Okay, fine guess. You want answer or you will see what your friend answer told is that is the correct answer. Okay.
Gravitational power is also.
Okay. Let me take this example only to explain. Okay. Now, plane, assume that plane is traveling with 200 kilometers per hour. Okay, 200 kilometers. Assume just okay. Now, if you are sitting inside a plane, what do you think? You are sitting, you are not running all those things. What is your speed now? 200 kilometers. Got the clarity? You are sitting, but see, always the speed is calculated when compared to some reference point. Okay. Now, if the person standing on the earth and the plane is traveling with 200 kilometers, you can, if he sees now, he can see that you are traveling in 200 kilometers per second. But you are in the boundary of the plane and you are very related to that plane. Okay. So what you think that you are not traveling, but plane is traveling? Like that only, same concept. If you are going in a train, if you toss the coin, okay, toss the coin. Do you think that coin will go and fall somewhere else? No, if you toss the coin, it will come back to the same place. Even though train is moving, but coin is in the air. Yes or no? At that time, that coin speed is also the same speed of the, what is that? Train is moving. Now, let's come back to the plane concept. When come to the plane, okay, what is happening here is that when the plane takes off, it is, what is that? Its gravitational force also work on. Okay, gravitation. Now, as the earth rotates, okay, now plane is also rotating in the same speed with the same kind of direction. As the coin was also traveling now, plane is also traveling with that, but you are not, you cannot compare because you are in the same gravitational force within the same boundary. If you go outside the gravitational force of earth in the space, at that time you can see that plane, even though it is in the air, it is also rotating like this with the help as the earth is rotating. Got the clarity? Best example, take that coin. The train is moving with 100 kilometers. You toss the coin. Tossing the coin, it will also be moving in the 100 kilometers and it will come back to the same. That is the answer. Okay. Try to read some science concepts. It's really interesting. Okay. Okay. Some more questions are there. We'll discuss one by one in upcoming classes. Let's come back to this one is completed. Online copied. Guys, you want me to
Yes.
execute this one?
No, sir.
No. Okay. Now let's come back to the next type of constructor, that is parameterized constructor. Now take down the heading as parameterized constructor. Heading as parameterized constructor. And below that you write down as a constructor. A constructor with at least one parameter. A constructor with at least one parameter is known as parameterized constructor.
Constructor with one parameter.
Is known as parameterized constructor.
Sir, one question about parameters, sir.
What?
So one question about parameters, sir. So what is parameter and what is an argument?
Both are same. In Java, both are same. Argument means it is accepting. Parameter is also it is accepting. Same.
Okay, sir.
Actual and the formal parameter.
That comes in C like actual call parameter, calling parameter, called method, calling method. In the Java, no, all those simply one method, behavior, function, all are same. Parameter, that is argument, all are same. Okay, let's keep it simple. Okay, boss, you understood that? Huh?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Take down this as an example of your parameterized constructor.
So same example.
Sorry.
Same example.
Yeah, I changed here. I have added one parameter.
Okay.
Body, I change it as teacher. One parameter. Student. One parameter. Let's make it fast. My phone will switch off now. Guys, done? Make it fast.
Done, sir.
Done, no? Okay. Now look at here, guys. Okay. Now, if I run this exact same program, I'll get error. Why? Because here, while creating an object, I am not passing any parameter. Okay. But here, whenever a constructor is created, there is expecting one parameter. So error will come. So to match it, what I do, I'll create a, what is that? Here one variable called as a, so I'll pass some variable, I'll take it as Sachin. Okay. Now what will happen? An object of the student created, Sachin will come here and here it will store inside this variable. Okay. This much. It is switching off. Arey, Wi-Fi not there. Phone is not. Okay, guys. Let's see if it turns off. Okay, nothing we can do. We'll wind up the session. We'll see it tomorrow. Okay, if in case it switch off. Now look at here. What is that I'm telling you here? When I pass this parameter will come to this particular variable and it will get initialized. If you are initializing, it will get initialized. But again, one error will come. Why? Because, can you guess it? Can you guess it? Because you know the answer quickly.
So because it's not getting any parameters.
It is not creating a. See here, I am creating an object of a student. I am passing a parameter. Parameter it is coming and it should execute. But I'm telling that in this program error will. Why? Because if you see here, when I pass this parameter, it will come here. Now, before executing, what it will do? It will check is there any parent class. Yes, parent class. At that time, what I told, JVM will make a super call method. Super call method. So super method call means what it will do? It will call the parent class constructor. Okay, parent class constructor is there, boss. But am I passing any parameter inside this one? No, at that time it will check the parent class default constructor. Is it there? No, error will. So let's overcome that problem. Let me write a default constructor here as public teacher. Okay, open and close, and some body you give it. Now it will work. Okay. Now let's see the output of this program. If I give the message here as system.out.println teacher default. Okay, teacher default. What do you think the output of this one is?
Sachin student.
Student, teacher default and student one parameter. How, sir? Control came from here to where? Here in this place. It made a super call. It went to the which one? Teacher default constructor. It came here. It executed this one. Again made a super call. Went to the parent class. Executed this one. And it executed teacher default. It came back here. Student one parameter. So output of this one is what? That is teacher default and student one parameter. Remember, JVM will automatically make a super call to the only default constructor of the parent class, but it will not make a call to the parent class parameterized constructor. Okay, sir, parent class parameterized constructor, if you want to call, then user should do it manually, automatically will not. Okay, make the changes and this one, write down output quickly. Take a screenshot guys quickly. If the phone switch off, I'm not sure. Take a screenshot quickly. Khatam. Okay, hey, you take a photo and put it in the page. Okay. Online, don't worry, we'll send a photo in a group. Okay, fine guys. Any doubt in today's class? Guys?
No, sir.
No? Fine, guys.
No,
We'll
sir.
end up the session here. Tomorrow, if possible, can I take 1 or 2 hour class?
Yes, sir. Sure, sir.
I'm not sure. See, I have some other commitments. If in case that I'm not going there, I'll take a class. But I'm not promising tomorrow. Okay? If it is there, I'll inform in the group early. Yeah,
सर
definitely.
लास्ट में जो आपने बताया वो एक बार नोट करवा दीजिए.
जी जी, मैं एक काम करता हूँ, कल इस पे और थोड़े प्रोग्राम्स करा के नेक्स्ट क्लास में बताता हूँ, ठीक है?
ओके सर, वो जो भी आपने बताया था कि
जी,
पैरामीटराइजर
अभी
डिफॉल्ट.
बहुत सारे मल्टीपल कॉम्बिनेशंस दिखाऊंगा, क्या क्या आएगा, कहाँ
Okay.
फंसोगे, क्या क्या करना है.
ओके सर.
Fine, yes.
Okay.
Thank you. If in class
Thank
is
you,
there,
sir.
I'll inform early in the night or at night only I'll inform. Okay. Thank you, guys. Bye.
Thank you, sir.